everyone, it's me, the one and only, the Sparkle Girl, aka Caitlin Sparkle. So today, boys and girls, I've always wanted to do this because, well, let's say I want to talk about Doctor Who. And not only just that, but I'm also going to talk about one of the spin-offs, Sarah Jane Adventures. So first of all, can I just say how much I love Doctor Who and Sarah Jane Adventures? Doctor Who is a British TV show that came out in the 60s, 1963. So basically, the Doctor as a character, he always regenerates into a different man. So that's why they had different actors to play the Doctor. And apparently that's just how it is for the franchise. Yeah. So let's just say the first Doctor is William Hartnell. But ever since he passed away, he got replaced by someone else. Patrick Fulton, he plays the second Doctor. The third Doctor was played by John Pertwee. The fourth Doctor was played by Tom Baker. And the fifth Doctor was played by Peter Davison. The sixth Doctor was played by Collins Baker. The seventh Doctor was played by Sylvester McCoy. And the eighth Doctor was played by Paul McGann. The ninth Doctor was played by Christopher Eccleston. After him was David Tennant, who plays the 10th Doctor. And after him, it was Matt Smith, who plays the 11th Doctor. And after him, Peter Capaldi. And after him, Jodie Whittaker. Yeah, I know. When Jodie left, David Tennant came back to play the 14th Doctor. Yeah, I know. It's weird, to be honest, but I actually kind of like it in a good way, to be honest. I mean, having David back, it's wonderful to see him again to play the Doctor, but the different Doctor, playing the 10th Doctor and the 14th Doctor. Yeah, tell me about it. It's hard to pronounce his name, but he's the new Doctor since 2023. My gosh, it's been like 2 years already.
What?
Sarah Jane Adventures is actually the first show I watched one time before I watched Doctor Who. The first time I saw Doctor Who was on my dad's old laptop on iTunes, and the episodes I watched the first time was The End of Time, the last episode, when David Tennant was playing the 10th Doctor at the time. So yeah, I've always remembered how I discovered Doctor Who in the first place. And I like to thank Sarah Jane Adventures for that one, because obviously you can tell. Some people may have watched Doctor Who before Sarah Jane Adventures, while some, including myself, watched Sarah Jane before we watched Doctor Who. And I really do have a good memory of all the episodes I've watched growing up. Most of them can be scary. Well, they're meant to be sometimes, but they are quite funny. Yeah, especially Clyde Langer. Okay, so my favourite Doctor is actually the 10th Doctor, the one we all know who played him, David Tennant. Funny enough, I believe the TARDIS is actually smaller from the outside, but it's bigger from the inside. The fact I said about how I discovered Doctor Who with this episode, The End of Time, well, when the new Doctor, the 11th Doctor at the time, was played by Matt Smith, first came to the Doctor Who at the time, let's say, I do remember watching most of his episodes growing up on the BBC iPlayer. And apparently, there's one episode which I wasn't allowed at the time because I was too young. Let's say my dad told me not to watch the one with the weeping angel. Let's say he did finally get to let me to watch it when I was a little older. And let's say my dad is the reason I had this sort of love for Doctor Who in the first place. And to be honest with you, boys and girls, my dad, he loves Doctor Who. And I do remember playing Sarah Jane Adventures games on CBBC website. Yeah, I've always loved those games growing up. And that sort of reminds me with another game I also used to play. I've always remembered the games about the Daleks, Cybermen, something about with the TARDIS, and the last one was the Varsha Narada. You know, those shadows, and because once you touch or being touched by the shadows, you're dead, like completely dead. Just be careful you're not in a space suit, because, I mean, you don't want to be end up like the one that says,
"Hey, who turned out the lights? Hey, who turned out the lights?"
Okay, that's creepy. Okay. But seriously, that episode used to scare the hell out of me as a kid, and I won't forget that memory. Even though it doesn't bother me anymore, which is good, but still, I can't forget those memories. I remember this trailer for the series 5, and I remember that used to give me the goosebumps. In a good way, that's what I mean. No, seriously, it was breathtaking. I know it can be scary, maybe a little bit, but for me, it's not that scary. Okay, I can admit it can be a bit scary. I do have favorite companions like Rose Tyler, Martha Jones, and Donna Noble, Sarah Jane, and Amy Pond, of course. Yeah, I say she's my favorite out of the others, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, I do like the others, but Amy is all my favorites. So, anyway, I'll let you guys do it. And I'll see you boys and girls another time. And if you're interested on reading or watching about Doctor Who, then feel free to do so. It's up to you, but I'm just saying. So, thanks for watching, boys and girls. Bye.